You called me out my name if we was in the same room.
Yes.
Went on the back end, he trying to work with me.
Trying to work. Cause he know
the only reason why he trying to take me off the internet, because in his mind, he can't even get his own mans in them channel popping. He got a junkie right now that's living in California. We ain't never been in the same.
Come to Atlanta.
I'm asking a question.
I'm not you a question.
Listen.
Straight like that, we're back. What's going on, everybody? Let's talk about a few things. Man, I've honestly been having a lot of fun with this whole Gilbert Arenas, Gil's Arena, Rashad McCants, Kwame Brown, and Kev Lowe situation. I'm not even going to lie, this has been entertaining. So we're back in the building today, and the topic is something that's been developing. Now, in the last video I dropped, we were talking about Rashad and Gil going back and forth. You know what I mean. Rashad was getting emotional and reflective on Twitter, while Gil was in full promotional mode, throwing out those cemetery references, coughing jokes, and taking shots every chance he got. You feel me? Before that, I also gave my thoughts and analysis on the Kwame Brown and Gilbert Arenas beef. I broke down who I thought was getting the unfair end of the situation, who was being petty, and how both sides were handling the back and forth. And I'll put this disclaimer out there. I'm kind of a mean guy myself. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a bully because I like seeing bullies get taken out of the story, but I'm the type of person who can understand the side that's more aggressive when it comes to competition. You know what I'm saying? Especially if somebody comes at me. I don't believe in holding back. Everything is on the table. No holding punches, if you will. So people can call me whatever they want for siding with Gil in certain moments, but the reality is I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not here to protect anybody. I'm going to call things the way I see them. And just like I'll give Gil credit when he deserves it, I'll also criticize him the same way I've criticized Kwame when I feel like he crossed the line. If somebody does something out of pocket, I'm going to say it. That's just how I approach these situations. So I made that video, and again, that was my first real dive into this whole situation. But then I came across this video right here, and honestly, it hit a little closer to home. The reason it brought out so many emotions from me is because it reminded me of something that happened in real life. I won't get too specific about the person involved, but I remember somebody telling me a story one time about school. They described a situation where two people got into an argument. Things escalated, and eventually it became one of those moments where everybody says, the only way to settle this is one-on-one. You know what I mean, a straight-up fight. And this person told me that whenever something like that happened, they would usually end up getting the attention of the person who lost. Why? Because while the fight was happening, this person would stand on the sidelines, laughing, hyping it up, almost turning it into entertainment. They weren't actually involved. They didn't have any real issue with anybody. They weren't trying to fight. They were just there playing the role of the mascot, making the situation even more intense. And after the fight was over, the person who lost would turn around and be angry at them because of the way they were acting during the whole thing. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm watching this clip we're about to go through, and I'm thinking, man, this is exactly the type of person that story reminded me of. That same energy. And that's why I wanted to break this down. Apparently, this video comes from someone called Carino for Life. I'm not really interested in going too deep into how these people know each other, how they're connected, or what their relationships are behind the scenes. What matters is the actual clip. At some point, we're going to see him join in, and we've got Gilbert Arenas, Kwame Brown, and Kev Lowe involved. Now, the two main guys here, Kwame Brown and Kev Lowe, I'm going to jokingly refer to them as Batman and Robin.
The guy is lying. He's on the docket for lying to the feds. Make him show you the YouTube channels that's not here. Because the last time I checked, Forgotten Kings TV is still here. Gravity Takeout is still here. Miss 504 is still here. All of these channels that benefited from Kwame Brown, nobody benefited from Gilbert Arenas. He came here, got people to flag, got people to play his little game, promised all this bullshit, battle mode, comedy shows, and didn't do shit. I got motherfuckers 10,000 subscribers overnight. I show your motherfucking channel Urban Politicians, a lot of people, I show their channel Salute a Nigga, they get followers that watch them every day. Gil don't move no, that nigga, hold on, that nigga Gil don't move no needle. Don't nobody, he can't even get his own mans in them channel popping. He got a junkie right now that's living in California. He can't get his channel popping. I got a stranger that
And here we go again. That junkie he's referring to has an online name, a moniker called Celebrity Sudge. Now, I want to make this clear. I'm not saying I agree with that label or co-signing that description of him. No. That's simply the name that was chosen for this person in the conversation. But then the surprising part is when someone gives another person a name like that, attaches that kind of energy to them, and then acts shocked when that same person comes back with something to say. You can't create a certain image of somebody and then be surprised when they respond. Now, Brown says that everything he touches immediately turns into gold. He talks about helping people like urban politicians, mentions reaching tens of thousands, and brings up other examples of people he believes benefited from his influence. And I'll say this, I don't really have issues with other podcasts or creators unless we're directly competing in the same lane. I might watch another person's content and disagree with their opinions, but at the end of the day, I judge things by consistency and longevity, not just the quality of one moment. You understand what I'm saying? Because Brown made the statement that everything he touches goes up to 10,000. And interestingly enough, this is where Carino's perspective comes into play. But before we get there, let's stay focused on Kwame for a moment. Kwame says Gilbert doesn't really have anything to stand on. He argues that Gil hasn't built anything, pointing out that some ideas like boxing matches and gaming events never fully happened. But I do remember Gilbert having a gaming platform that wasn't connected to Underdog. Whether that's relevant or not is a separate conversation. What stood out to me while learning more about this entire controversy and more about Kwame's background is the different paths he has taken over the years. From what I understand, Kwame Brown was at one point focused heavily on messages surrounding Black empowerment and uplifting the community. He appeared on Tasha K's platform and spoke about wanting to support Black women and build positive things within the culture. However, there are also people who have criticized him, saying that his messaging later moved in a different direction and accusing him of adopting some of the ideas associated with the red pill space. There were also claims about plans he talked about, like building a youth center and organizing a shoe drive where he said he spent around $200,000 on shoes. And from the information available publicly, some people have questioned whether those efforts actually produced the results that were promised. That's where the criticism comes from, because there's a difference between saying you can create opportunities for others and actually showing consistent proof that you're doing it. And that's a conversation that exists far beyond just this situation. You see it everywhere. People selling courses about how to become successful on YouTube, how to grow a business, or how to build a brand. If someone is already massively successful, sometimes people question whether they're truly teaching a system or just selling the dream of becoming like them. But then, if someone hasn't achieved much themselves, people question whether they actually know what they're talking about. So it creates this interesting dynamic. Kwame Brown says he has a unique ability to elevate people and bring attention to things around him. And now the question becomes whether those skills are really as powerful as he claims, especially when compared to someone like Gilbert Arenas, who has built his own audience and platform in a very different way. So, with all of that being said, let's keep going.
10,000 subscribers overnight. That motherfucker got a junkie that live next to him and can't get him no motherfucking content. So come on, my nigga. We know why you back over here, nigga. Self-talk all these people that came up off of me, nigga. You don't do shit but run your mouth and get deals off niggas like me and then run back to them white boys and talk about niggas like me. You are nobody. You are nothing. You sit up in the house and you motherfucking film all day, nigga. You don't come outside. You don't be nowhere.
Woo.
Stop playing. And
Yeah.
I go on mute. And all he worried about is getting this little weak ass show off the ground. This nigga talking about, I don't text Kwame Brown. I don't talk to Kwame. This is what he just said on the show, right?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Hold on.
Hey, look, hey, we finna break some news on your channel.
Now, before they even get into this next part, because this section right here caught my attention. I watched a little bit of this already, and what's about to happen is that Kwame is going to get into a back and forth through text messages, and eventually, Gilbert is going to step into the conversation. That's when they're really going to start addressing the situation directly. But before we get there, I want to ask everybody watching this little short film something. How many times have you seen this happen? How many times have you watched a situation unfold where somebody says something, drops a few facts, and you immediately think, wait a minute, they might actually be making a point here? When was the last time you saw somebody call something out and it actually made sense? Because Kev Lowe noticed something. Kev Lowe caught something. You saw it. Now, from what I understand, later in this video, he's going to explain that he's in Atlanta. Obviously, he's not originally from Atlanta, but I've personally been around Atlanta for 15 to 20 years, so I know the city pretty well. And I'm not saying somebody can't understand Atlanta without being born there, but I'm just saying I have a lot of experience with the city and the culture around it. At some point, he's going to mention that he's in Atlanta and talk about some of the different lifestyles and things that exist within the city. And honestly, just looking at the energy coming from these two guys, combined with the way Kev Lowe was pointing out certain things, I'm just saying the combination of those two things creates an interesting situation. That's all I'm saying. Kev Lowe definitely noticed something.
It's Kwame Brown. What is this right here? What time is it?
That's Gil. Gil, you texted Kwame.
What time is it?
Oh!
What time is it?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
What time is it? What's all this right here? If he ain't texting me, what's all this?
Hey, tell Gil we can't hear him. Somebody come and Gil his
Hey,
mic.
what's all this if he ain't texting me? What's all that?
Woo! Now, you just got through lying on a damn podcast show about you not texting Kwame.
So whatever fake receipts you got, oh, you got Kwame Brown texting you that, what? Because you know if Kwame Brown had it in real life from 3 years ago, that shit would have been all over the goddamn, and he'd have said that shit to the president. I don't text no motherfucking Kwame Brown. Does he even got a phone? He can't wear a different shirt every day, dirty ass boy. Tell that nigga to tell me my phone number. Tell him to tell you the last 3 phone numbers of mine. He can't. Nobody texting that cricket. You get your receipts from Kwame Brown? He was the cheapest big man at the time. He's a starting center making $1 million. Michael Jordan pimped him. Just pimped my ride over there. If Kwame would have came out and said, I want $10 million a year, the nigga would have been out of the league the 3rd year in the NBA. Like, oh, nah, you're not worth no $10 million. You better get your ass home.
So, all this talking he was doing.
So before we let all this conversation play out, I want to jump in for a second and set the stage. From what I understand, Kwame Brown's version of events is that Rashad McCants sent Gilbert Arenas a heartfelt message. A message where Rashad was showing appreciation for what Gilbert had done for him, how much Gilbert had helped him, and how that support allowed him to improve certain things in his life. Rashad has always seemed like somebody who enjoys working. He talks about projects, building things, and staying active. And according to Kwame's interpretation, Gilbert receiving that message showed how much respect Rashad had for him. Now, Kwame says Gilbert forwarded him a screenshot of that conversation, almost like he was showing it off. Basically saying, look at how Rashad is talking about me. Look at the respect he's showing. That's the way I understand Kwame's side of what happened. But Gilbert's response is different. Gilbert says, I don't text him like that. Meaning he's saying Rashad isn't somebody he regularly communicates with through text and that this wasn't some normal conversation between close friends. Now Kwame is about to pull up another conversation that he says proves Gilbert does in fact text with him. And honestly, this is where the situation gets a little interesting. Because if two people were actively arguing on that day, then bringing up those messages as proof that you communicate with someone isn't really the biggest revelation. Context matters. The timeline matters. From what I can tell, the conversation Kwame is about to show appears to be from a different time period than the Rashad screenshot situation. The clip that Carino just showed from Gilbert was recent, maybe only a week or two ago. But the message involving Rashad thanking Gilbert would have happened months earlier. So those are two separate situations.
Now, another thing I wanted to mention about Carino is the way people are reacting whenever he gets involved in these conversations, because when he appears on these topics, his numbers seem to jump immediately. And I started looking into that. There was another creator involved in this situation. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but Gilbert apparently knows him because he joined the podcast. I saw Feud come in as well, so there seems to be some connection between everybody involved. This creator spent hours breaking down different claims and analyzing what he believed were inconsistencies coming from the other side. And one thing people have been discussing is Carino's numbers. Feud has spent a lot of time talking about those numbers and questioning how they're growing. I personally checked Carino's channel a few days ago, and at that time he was sitting around 434,000 subscribers. And if you're a creator, you know there are certain tools and patterns you can look at when analyzing channel growth. When I checked again today, the channel was around 437,000. That's roughly 1,000 subscribers a day. And then I noticed something else. There are other creators out there, one person in particular who makes videos with a plain white background, where I noticed a similar pattern, the same kind of consistent, perfectly rounded daily increase. And that made me start asking questions, because when you see a channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and similar view numbers, it naturally makes people curious. Because at the end of the day, numbers tell a story. And if you know what to look for, you know. So, let's keep going.
Kwame got all the smoke for his ass now. I don't text him, but here you are.
That's him texting you.
What's all this? You think I text Kwame Brown? Kwame Brown. He on the show capping like a motherfucker, but texting me books and shit. But he on the show acting like, yeah, he on the show. Hey, he on the show capping good. He on the show capping like a bitch.
Yeah.
You think I text Kwame Brown? Who is a Kwame Brown? You cap ass nigga. You a cap ass nigga. That's why I can't have no respect for this nigga when he talk, cause this nigga be cap, nigga. I'm the real thing. You just cap. You be lying like a bitch, nigga. That shit be pissing me off. This nigga lie so much. God damn, that shit be. Everybody in love with bitch niggas that always lie. Man, get this nigga mic to work, man. Now his shit don't work, but it work on
What's up
SoFly.
with your mic? Yeah, I know you ain't getting smoked and not acting like your mic ain't working, man. Come on, man. Kwame on mute, man. Gil, come on.
I'm gonna go outside and smoke. I'm gonna go outside and smoke, man. I'm gonna go outside and bloviate, cause this bitch ass nigga can't fuck with me, man. He can't fuck with me, man. I told y'all.
Yeah,
this nigga a lame ass nigga. Y'all be believing this bitch ass nigga. That's like a slap in the face. Y'all, he on Charlie building the waiver channel talking about, why would I text Kwame Brown? You think I text a Kwame
Hey,
Brown?
y'all, look,
Read
I'm
all
getting
this shit.
notifications. Y'all, I'm
Put
getting
me on the big screen.
notifications.
Read all
Now
this shit.
one of my videos is saying,
Put me on the big screen, Kel.
hey, I gotta watch that boy there too, but
Read all this shit, man. This nigga talking about he don't talk to Kwame Brown. Bitch, nigga. You better stop playing, nigga. Stop playing all your life, fuck, nigga. Why is it upside down? It look upside down. Is it upside down on your end?
nah, we can see you. You got everything.
Look at this nigga. He don't text Kwame Brown. He don't text Kwame Brown.
Now, we're gonna pause for a second and do a little investigative work here. You understand what I'm saying? Because Gilbert is gonna get into this himself in just a moment. But before we hear his side, let's just look at what's happening based on the messages being shown. When somebody feels attacked, you can usually tell by the way they respond. And in this situation, Gilbert appears to be firing back with some serious energy. He's saying things like, "You're a girl like my mama cooking. You're a real-life hoe. All your lines are about women and fame. Those taxes are low." Now, from what I'm understanding, Gilbert is basically sending out a response and letting it be known that he's ready for the back and forth. And looking at the messages, the blue texts are from Kwame, while the white texts are from Gilbert. From the exchange being shown, Kwame is basically saying something along the lines of, "Man, this guy wakes up every day and texts me paragraphs. He's trying to get me to respond." So according to Kwame's interpretation, Gilbert is the one constantly reaching out and trying to continue the argument. But when you actually look at the exchange, it appears like both sides are engaging. It's a back and forth conversation.
They're both responding. They're both participating. And honestly, if two people are going back and forth like this, using the messages as proof that one person is chasing the other becomes a little complicated, because at the end of the day, both people are still replying. And that's what makes this situation interesting. It's not just one person talking into the void. There's clearly a conversation happening between both sides.